I believe there is an FL Studio conspiracy. What is this conspiracy, you might ask? I'll show you. It has to do with FL Studio Mobile and the FL Studio desktop version. I've been noticing that FL Studio Mobile gets a lot of features that are either before FL Studio Desktop or that we never get in FL Studio Desktop. So I can show you real quick because right now I'm on the desktop version, obviously. But if you didn't know this, you could actually open up the FL Studio Mobile app inside as a plugin. So inside the channel rack, you can open up FL Studio Mobile just like this. So here it is, FL Studio Mobile inside as a plugin, as you would open any other plugin inside the channel rack. So just to show you real quick, I'm just going to click new. We'll just go to empty here and just click OK just for demonstration purposes. All right, so the main features and the things that I'm talking about are like the effects and the effects plugins, if you want to call them plugins. You open up this little tab right here, and this is the module, they call it in here, add a module. So you can add a module, and then you can go ahead and you can see what we got in here. So we got reverb, reverb 2. We got a tape delay that we don't have in the desktop version. If you wait a little bit more towards the end of the video, I'll show you what I think is coming to FL Studio Desktop. I really hope it is, and it'll be a game changer if it does, so stay tuned. But we're gonna go down the list. FL Studio effects and tape delay. So we don't have a tape delay. We can go add another module here. We have trance delay. We have an auto duck. This is pretty cool. So this is essentially like side chaining. And the cool thing about having the mobile app inside here is we can actually utilize some of these features. There's sometimes it makes it a little bit more difficult because we're using it as a plugin. You know, we're not on the phone and it's not coming through the same way. This is almost like another DAW inside of a DAW per se. So this auto duck feature, we got the leveler, normal compressor, normal limiter, some distortion, wave shaper, which is dope, noise gate, multiband compressor. We got some filters here, some normal stuff, nothing too crazy. But right here, spreader, and it looks just like the one that's in the desktop version. This effect actually came to FL Studio Mobile first. I noticed this. I actually talked about it on the podcast, and then I was wondering, you know, if we're gonna get it in the desktop, and we actually did. So this is pretty cool. We got spreader here. If we go into, you know, the normal plugin list and we go to spreader, it's very similar. So they really modeled it pretty much the same. We get the low bypass. We get separation right here, and I'm guessing that's where this one is width. Little like fader looking icon. You can do the wet pan, you can center it, or you can go left or right with it. Then you got your mix knob and your post volume, post gain. Right here we got the spread, which is the width in this one, separation, and the low bypass. And you could switch it on and off from mono to stereo, which I don't believe we have in this one. Almost like 95% similar. But just to go back to my point, it came to FL Studio Mobile first, and then it came to FL Studio Desktop. Keep going down this list. Spacer is just like another reverb, comb filter, multi-effects, chorus, flanger, phaser, all normal stuff, tuner, which is kind of cool. I don't think we have this, but you can just send something through here and it'll tell you exactly what key it's in. So this is something that's really cool that we don't have in desktop, but you can utilize this if you wanted to. You could throw this on and you can run something through it. You can add audio to FL Studio Mobile in here. I'll actually show you a little workaround in a second too. When I show you that big feature that I'm talking about that I hope is coming to FL Studio Desktop, I'll show you a little workaround that you can utilize FL Studio Mobile and get around and actually use some of these plugins and features. I would say if you need it to maybe get the key of a song or get the key of a sample or a one shot, like you could definitely utilize this. You would just throw the audio in here. This is where I think, and I really hope the FL gods bring this to FL Studio Desktop. Pithcer 2, bro. We need a Pithcer 2. Probably been 2 decades since we've had an automatic tuner update with Pithcer. Like we have the same exact Pithcer, which if you're not familiar with Pithcer, if you don't do vocals or anything like that, this is Pithcer. It's like auto-tune. It's just an automatic tuning plugin. So you can send any one signal through it. But FL Studio Mobile gets Pithcer 2 before desktop. Why? I'm not really sure why. The only things I can think of is maybe they have a completely different team that works on mobile versus that works on desktop stuff. It could be that. It could also be that they're trying to compete with BandLab and all these other apps that have all these crazy amounts of features on the apps on mobile devices, because BandLab I think is just light years ahead of FL Mobile in my opinion. So I think maybe there's a little bit of pressure there. Maybe it's a combination of these things. I'm definitely going to have someone from the FL Studio team on the podcast really soon, so stay tuned for the podcast. If you don't know about that, please follow. I'll drop a link down in the description below. I'm going to have somebody from the FL team and I'm going to ask them a ton of questions, so I'll ask them this for sure and see if they know. But my opinion, I'm thinking there's a whole different team that works on the FL Studio mobile side of things than that works on the desktop side of things. So that could be the case, and maybe things just get pushed through a little bit faster. I'm not really sure, but I do know that my theory is, it's being proven more and more as the months go on, and that I'm noticing. Because like I said, we go up this list right here. Spreader came here first, and then really shortly after it, we got it on the desktop. It was like super quick right after. But you can see right here that this Pithcer 2 has a lot more options than Pithcer 1 in the desktop. And it sounds pretty good too. I've run a couple of audio tracks through it, but you can see here, I mean, we got the normal stuff. We got the key and we got the scale. We got the tune speed. It'll give you a reading of what notes are being hit. We got formats here, which we got the format here, but it's a little bit more intricate. You could turn on the format and you can go different genders. We got this frequency shift knob right here. Then we have some more features. So this is just in the tuning section. If you go to expression, this is where we have some different stuff going on. We have a humanization knob, a sensitivity knob, a stability knob, and a vibrato knob, which is so dope to me because I ran a couple of vocals through here the other day and messed around with that vibrato knob, and it's really dope. It really adds vibrato, which we don't have anything like that with Pithcer. And then process sibilance. You can turn that on or off. And then if you go to options, we see we have a mix knob here. And then we have this right here where you can go left and right, and a low latency mode. We don't have that on here either. The one thing I would say that we have on Pithcer 1 that I don't necessarily see here, unless it's this frequency shift right here, would be this. Say we have a person singing that has a really deep vocal. You would go here and you would go down to a lower hertz. So that way you're telling Pithcer to basically try tuning those lower frequencies versus a high or a mid frequency range. So if you have a higher vocal, you go up higher here. I don't see that in Pithcer 2, but this is the FL Studio mobile version. It is going to be different, and I'm not really sure if that F shift does that. These other two effects that I really want on desktop is wow and flutter, which you could see it right here in real time. It's just, it can add like a lo-fi type of vibe to your samples. And then this other one, I really, really want this one because we don't have anything like this unless you want to open up gross beat, but then you have to go over to the presets and you have to choose momentary and then you choose vinyl off. That's the only thing that's really similar to that. We need an updated Pithcer. Like, this is a necessity because this is one thing that I feel like a lot of engineers and a lot of producers go elsewhere for is the tuning stuff. Like, they'll go to auto tune or meta tune, or they'll go to Waves Tune. Like, they'll go to these other plugin companies. All right, so I promised you I'd show you like a workaround. So let's say if you don't have the mobile app on your device, you have it here on your desktop, and you want to use, say, Pithcer 2 or Tape Stop or anything like that. Let's say we want to do some auto tuning, right? We want to throw an audio clip on here. I'm going to throw an audio clip channel, and then I'm going to go to My Files. I had already loaded a couple of audio files in. Literally, you could just, from the side panel, drag and drop them in, and then they go into My Samples. So we're just going to click on this, and then it tells us what key it is. So it's B minor. So if we go here, we throw Pithcer 2 on there. We change this to B minor. On this lonely night. And you can put the speed up if you'd like. On this lonely night. That's your workaround. You could send FL Studio Mobile to a track. You can just print it to audio here by arming it to record, hit Alt-R, print it, and then it'll be out of FL Studio Mobile, nice and tuned and ready to go for you. And that goes for any of the effects that you see that are in FL Studio Mobile that you don't have on desktop. So like the tape stop, like all those different delays that are in there, you could do it like this. That's going to do it. Let me know. You think this is a valid conspiracy theory here? Do you think that we're going to be getting these plugins and these features inside desktop? What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm going to drop the link down for FL Studio 2024 if you don't have the update. So that way you can try Pithcer 2 that it's inside mobile. So with that being said, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this with a friend if you get me.